Hey, we're back in the rain a little bit. So, been doing some projects, take you on a little adventure, and then take you along for a project I'm working on this evening. So let's see how it goes. I'll flip you around. We are going to go see what's going on with, well, this bike is getting a tire because we're going camping next weekend. Oh yeah. So the pilot, as promised, she got some helper bags in there. So both of those bags, you have to drill a hole in your lower control arm and pull the coil spring to get those in. Ran a hose, so now we're good for pulling a little bit higher payload with maybe a little bit more control. So that's cool. Test that out, see how it goes. The camper, not getting much as far as projects goes. We're just cleaning it and trying to learn about how we're going to use it as a family. I am replacing that motor right there for the awning. So I got the part for it. I'm gonna do that like right now. And then we got a little project for the Nissan. Something very important. What's very important on a rock crawler? So it goes, it drives, it stops, it steers. It's not a first problem, it's kind of a secondary problem. What do you need if you're on a good commuter? Well, we'll get there. How would you look at that? Got it out. I would note that if you pull that motor, the whole thing rolls out. So anybody doing this, that's just good to know. I was not prepared for that, and I had to kind of jump off my stool and run the thing, and it's a little sketchy, but we did it. And now, look how fancy this thing is. So just come in here, hit this button, we start rolling it in. We are as fancy as I could ever think. So that's pretty cool. That's one project done. All right, hey, we're gonna move on to the Nissan pretty quick. What's our guess? So you need this if you're on a good rock crawler that's also a commuter, that you want to drive a lot. If you're thinking it's a radiator, you're wrong. It's not a radiator. It's already got a radiator. It's just not a good radiator. If you're thinking it's a passenger mirror, you're wrong. Because you don't really need a passenger mirror when you have a driver one that's falling off. So, what could it be? Alright, camper put back together, ready to go. Awning works, so that's neat. The camper really doesn't have much else to do. I'm gonna do something fancy with those batteries so that I have like a dual battery thing going. But other than that, ready. Alright, rock crawler. What do you think it is? Do you think it's a transmission rebuild because drive doesn't work? No, wrong. What it is going to be is cup holders. So there's been a few renditions of cup holders in this thing, and now there are no cup holders in it. So that's a problem. You gotta have cup holders. So we are going to go and see what I can come up with. There's been probably 4 attempts at cup holders in this thing, but now we are going to be doing something new. So she's an automatic now. Oh, look at, I've already been trying, and I think I like this attempt. I'm gonna have to get a beverage and see how it works, but it's just kind of wedged in there under the license plate right now. So I could have screwed it in, I could have bolted it in. Instead I flattened out this bracket and shoved it in, and we're gonna see how that works. I can widen this a little bit because, you know, it's good to be able to have a coffee mug in there if you're on your second cup of coffee, you know, on your weekend mornings. It's good to be able to fit a a soda can or another beverage can, you know, if you're out there, and it might be on an angle of some kind. So we got to take angles into consideration. My truck goes fast now. I mean, notice the performance shifter. So so inertia, like boom, you know, is it gonna hold? I can't be spilling it, or what if I have to hit my brakes going down a big hill, and then what if someone hits their brakes in front of me in traffic, right? So all these things to consider with this cup holder design here. And I've already spilt my coffee once trying to shove it in here, and we ain't doing that again because I'm driving this thing to work tomorrow, Friday. And I think we're gonna put a coffee cup right there. So I have a little bit of a story to tell. If you haven't noticed, I'm posting some videos of a Jeep and this truck in stock form. So I was going to talk about that Jeep a little bit. That Jeep is our sheep. It's a shit Jeep. I get it? Sheep. So my buddy Tivo and Cole and myself, we knew of that Jeep, and somebody we knew of was getting rid of it. We knew it kind of had some cool parts on it, and it was a Jeep, and he was going to put it to the scrapyard. Oh, we couldn't have that. So he said the scrapyard was going to give him $200. We're like, I didn't really have the ability of acquiring another vehicle at the time, you know, kind of had my other stuff going on, and Tevin had no place to put a vehicle, and like Cole didn't have money for a vehicle, and you know, we all pooled together $100 each, and we got sheep. And we rode sheep for a summer. We had a lot of fun. I dremeled out a crack in the head and put some JB weld in there, and that worked. And we stopped caring about overheating that motor, right? Because you don't need to worry about overheating a $200 Jeep. So we drove that thing for a summer and then a few months after. And then Tevin and Cole decided to buy a new motor for that old Jeep. So we did a motor swap on it, and then we got a long travel kit for it, and got 35s for it, and the shit Jeep for $200 snowballed a little bit, all the way up until we were on the trailhead for the Rubicon, and the motor that was months old had been broken in. We've been driving it all around. It'd been on wheeling trips, been on the interstate, and again, like, it'd been serviced a couple times. Months old still though. Got a really bad lifter tick, and one of the rocker arms like shifted, we found out, I guess during like assembly, like we had never been in there or something, and totally roasted a couple of lifters. And we did a head gasket, like trying to replace everything at the O'Reilly's in South Lake Tahoe, and it didn't work. So that was where Tevin decided he was all done with Jeep parts on sheep. So he got rid of the axles, and that is where the Nissan ended up with Jeep parts. So the Dana 44 came out of our shit Jeep. The Dana 35 came out of sheep. And then there's like countless other Jeep XJ parts that are in this truck right now. Again, you'll get the build breakthrough in the next couple videos or so. But now, because all those parts came out of sheep, so what's going on sheep right now, Tevin is in the middle of a full 1-ton build, basically. He's got a Corvette 5.3 he's putting in there. He's got TTB front end. He's got a Ford 9-inch. It's all going to be like super built, super cool, very, very awesome. And because of that, the Nissan ended up very cool too. Trickle down parts, you know. So anyways, I'm going to pound out a couple more cup holders here. So if you see that Jeep, that's the Jeep sheep, right? So, all right, anyways, we'll see how these cup holders turn out. Hey, all things considered here, for our Sunday morning drive, the coffee cup doesn't sit down there all the way, but hey, like I said, we're on our way to soccer practice or something, so if we're not going too crazy, that should work. And then also over here, a mini Pepsi. You know, there's other taller drinks that are about that size. So this is a little loose, but I don't think it's going to fall through the cracks. Of course, your standard shoe fits just fine, and the Go coffee cup is going to be not a problem. So if you notice, I mean, I'll get into it with some of the build breakthrough. My floor is kind of not much going on there, and again, this is kind of a dirty old rock crawler that's been used to get used, you know, built to get used up hard, used to get used, right? I figured it out though. We all got there. So now that I'm in Georgia, my plan is to take a little bit more time to refine some of these things. Put a floor in. I got Dynomat, and I don't know what kind of floor, if it's going to be like some vinyl or some sort of a nice rubber type thing that I can hose off. I don't think it's going to be carpet though. And then there's like the rust holes and the floor holes and things like that. So I'm going to take some time, and that'll give me some stuff to do for y'all, you know. So that was my cup holder project. The rear is going to get them as well, but right now it's all wet back there, and I got the seats folded down, and I'm not trying to go play in the rain. That's the joys of the half cab, you know. Like, I'm in the dry, and it sucks to be in the back, right? So anyways, I am going to keep on working on getting this thing more roadworthy, right? The main 3 items like I've mentioned, and then getting this build or like the whole truck build video made. This is just my after bedtime. I came out here to do some tinkering, so I figured I'd take you all with me. And bedtime took a little longer than you know I would say normal, but is that normal for bedtime to take a little longer? It probably is. So I got out here in the dark. That's what it is. I've got a few subscribers, like there's 20 some of you, and that's pretty cool. It's almost more than I expected. I'm 1 week into this, and I don't know where it's gonna go. Like I said, I've got my 2 or 3 videos that I'm definitely gonna make, and then that's gonna be that, and then that's gonna decide if I continue to do it. Is kind of what I mean by that. So thanks for whoever's here. I don't. It doesn't really tell me who it is. It could just be all my cousins and a couple buddies. So if that's who it is, hey guys. If it's not who it is, then hey, welcome aboard. I'm Tyler, and thanks for following along. So we're gonna carry on. I will do some more videos about some cooler things. This was me kind of like, how is this gonna work? Me coming out here and trying to shoot a video of me working on my truck. I have some more equipment coming, so maybe quality will be improving as well. So hold out for that. We'll see if I know how to use it by the time it gets here. So anywho, carry on. Peace out. Till next time.